May 1998, Raven Rips was 17. I bought this magazine. It probably cost about $15. Hello, Ripsters. Welcome to Raven Rips. Today I am continuing my tribute to Kurt Cobain with showing some of my magazines and books that I have about Nirvana and Kurt. I don't have as many magazines as I once did. Back in the 90s, magazines and teenage girls went together like you wouldn't believe. And I had many magazines, but most of them didn't survive growing up. And I have so many left, but I'm going to show you quickly just the covers of all the magazines and books because there's too many to show like inside of each one. If there are any ones that anyone really liked to see the insides of, and we can certainly do more videos and like do a video focused on a whole, just one book, you know, instead of showing a whole bunch at once. So this is the first magazine we're going to look at. This is, of course, Spin. Let's see if we can see when this is from. This is from October 2001. And it cost $4.25 in Canada at that time. So that's super cool. The early days of Kurt Cobain. The article on this one's really cool. It has some cool photos. Again, I can do videos on the individual stuffs if we want to. This is Mojo magazine. This was like a UK import magazine that was expensive back then. I remember I didn't have many of these. This is from May 2001. It says it cost £320. £320. So I don't know. But it's super cool. Very cool. We have Rolling Stone. Super cool Rolling Stone. This one says it is from June 2002. Who owns Kurt Cobain? Super cool. We have another Mojo. Who Killed Kurt Cobain is the article. This one's from May 1998. It's going back. It's going back in time. It's like a magazine time machine. I was like 17 in 1998 in May 1998, Raven Rips was 17. I bought this magazine. It probably cost about $15. Super cool to still have it. Super cool. We have Spin. Spin, 15 years of revolutionary music. And this is from April 2000. So, of course, in April, for many years after he died, you could always expect the big rock magazines like Rolling Stone and Spin to do a cover of Kurt during their April issue. It was a given for a long time. A long time. And the last magazine is also Spin. It's an oversized Spin. See the comparison of the two next to each other. It's significantly larger than the other one. It was like a special edition. It says special 10th anniversary edition. 10 years, it rocked the world. So it was a special one, and it is from April of 1995. So it was the first year, the first death anniversary. So that is the oldest one for magazines for me. Again, I would love to show you guys the articles and stuff and have a closer look at them. If that interests anyone, we'll get into the books now. This was a special book that was about the Pachyderm sessions, the recording of In Utero, the studio that they were at. It's full of really cool pictures of their time in the studio recording that album. It's really cool, and I actually bought this book in Seattle when I was there in 1996. So that's super cool. Little fun fact about that one. Then we have some of these like books that were sort of like magazines. You know, they were thin. And this one was just called Nirvana Tribute. Full of all kinds of cool pictures. Super cool. I don't know if I can see when it's from. I know it's old. I know I've had it for a long time. But I'm not sure. I don't see like a copyright. It's super cool though. We have this one. Screaming Life. This was like an anthology about Sub Pop records, who Nirvana was signed to at a certain time when they made Bleach. It was about like all of the artists and like just the Seattle music scene in general. The cover, of course, is Kurt Cobain doing some crazy stuff. And it came with a CD that I don't think I have anymore. It did have a CD in it that had like songs from all the artists from Seattle at that time. And we have this one that's also just called Nirvana. It's a thicker one than their typical magazine style book. This is another one that I've had for a long time. Teenagers, like I would get these at like Christmas and stuff. I would. I was obsessed. I would get everything I could get. This one is called Nirvana and the Sound of Seattle. Again, super cool. Has all kinds of cool pictures and stuff. And this one was Nirvana Nevermind. As the title suggests, it has a lot of pictures of the Nevermind era. There is Kurt jumping in the pool they used for the cover of Nevermind with the baby on it. And there he is on the back with a very small baby Frances Bean with Diet Girl written on her tummy. Super cool. This one's called The Story of Nirvana. It's another thin one, full of super cool pictures, little tidbits. This is cool. This is a more recent one that I picked up. Who Killed Kurt Cobain? It's like a graphic novel. It has some really cool artwork in it. It has some super cool artwork of Courtney Love in it. And again, I will show you guys these more in depth if you would like to. This one's super cool. I'd be excited to look through it with you. We have this one. This is a paperback now. Come As You Are, The Story of Nirvana. This was a more like well-known biography back in the day. It's very old. It's torn. The back cover's torn. I think one of my puppy dogs got into it at one time. It's chewed a bit on the corners. It's super cool. It's like it has more of like a story. More words and less pictures. Lots of cool stuff though. This one is called I Witnessed Nirvana, the Day-by-Day Chronicle. Super cool. Very nice. I don't see the date on them. This one, Who Killed Kurt Cobain? The Mysterious Death of an Icon. Super cool. This was one of the more famous ones. Heavier Than Heaven by Charles Cross. It's a really good read. No matter what your conspiracy theories are, what you believe happened, it's a good read. I myself am a diehard Courtney Love fan as well as Kurt Cobain. To me, they're one entity. To me, I don't differentiate them. You have Kurt, you have Courtney. For me at that time in the 90s, I loved them both. And I've often joked that they're my parents. I was raised by Kurt and Courtney. So to me, you know, there's no way I'm blaming her. There's no way. I can't imagine losing your husband, your love, and being blamed for it. This one's super cool. Kurt Cobain journals. This was a big deal when it came out. It's filled with his actual journals. His writings and his scribbles and his scrawlings and letters and notes and all kinds of really cool stuff. So it would be a really cool one to look at more in depth one time. As with this one, heavy as it may be, Cobain Unseen. It's also by Charles Cross, who did Heavier Than Heaven. Comes with an exclusive CD. And again, it's all like drawings and notes and letters and different tidbits and stuffs. It's really cool. It's got like fold outs and all kinds of cool stuff. His famous Converse, All Stars. So it's again a video in and of itself. To flip through this, cool picture on the back there of little baby Cobain. Super cool. And the last book to show is this one. This book was called Cobain by the editors of Rolling Stone. It was one of the first hardcover, large format books like this that came out. Mine is a first printing, and it came out a long time ago. If I could ever find copyright. Here we go. Copyright 1994 by Rolling Stone Press. My camera will zoom in on that. So it is a really treasured thing for me in my collection. Even the slipcover is still intact. It's frayed and it's old. Underneath is just black with a C for Cobain. It was cool. I remember when I got this, I was so excited. And it again is filled with so many cool things that would be super cool to show in more detail. So we will do that. We'll do like a series of like a show and tell of books and magazines, and I'll show you guys some of these super cool articles and artworks and whatnots. And yeah, that's about it. So I hope everyone enjoyed this, and go listen to some music, because music saves lives. Go listen to Nirvana and play it loud, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.